You guys, the kid is 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 the kid, So I wanted us to, do a little updates on Afcon, man. The Afcon is been popular, and I think now we're now getting into where things get real. Things are now getting fully 100% real right now in the Afcon because right now it's now the final game of the session. And I think because it's now the final game in the session, things now become real because especially when we now talk about Algeria and so forth, we could be having a situation where Algeria, shout out to boy PSG Auntie, who promised me, PSG Auntie promised me Nigeria would win every single game, and he said finals minimum. I tried to warn him. I said the jinxes, but he said finals minimum. So let's now look at Group A, which has now concluded. So Group A, so Cameroon top of the group with 7 points. Burkina Faso 4 points, Cape Verde 4 points, Ethiopia 1 point. But I think the key thing to note is Cape Verde's 4 points, because remember, I think it's the four best third place losers, pretty much. Yeah, the fourth best third place losers go through into the next round. So you're saying to yourself that 4 points is definitely going to put you in a very good position. It's pretty much in the next round. So Cape Verde, I think they're only in a strong position to definitely be amongst those top 4 teams. So shout out to Cape Verde being able to come through with the 4 points and doing their damn thing, man. I think for Cameroon, I still think they still should be watched. They've not been amazing. They've not really been a team that has sort of really shone brightly. But I think that whenever you see with home teams, it's all about progression and you build and you grow into the tournament. I always say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. That is always the key. It's always how you finish, man. And I think for Burkina Faso, doing their thing, good team. You had your boy Traore there, but I just don't really see them going in there that far, personally speaking, man. But I think for Cameroon, look, because I follow Edson on Instagram, and he's obviously the presence of Feka Foot, which is the Cameroon FA, and he's really, really behind the boys. Because I think there was a video that he posted. It was him, Ray Rigobert Song, and Roger Miller just giving and he was just giving some words of encouragement to the team. It was cool. Group B. So that happened. So Guinea, Senegal, Malawi, Zimbabwe. Shout out to our guy Patrick, man. Malawi doing their thing, man. Malawi doing their damn thing, man. So Malawi right there in third. 3 points. You may think it should be good enough, man. Senegal, I now know they've had injuries, so I believe they're going to have all of their boys back. But my issue with Senegal is there's good build-up play. It's well matched, but I'm looking for that cutting edge. I'm looking for that cutting edge, and there are just times in which I just think that cutting edge may be a little bit lacking from Senegal. So I think that I'm hoping that once they have all of their troops back, in this their final game, they truly show their quality and really show what they're about truly. Because I think in their final game they play, I believe it might be. I think it's Malawi that they play in the final game. I believe. No, it's not. No, yeah, I think it is Malawi. I think it is Malawi. Yeah. I think it is Malawi that they're playing in their final game now. So, but I think for Malawi, shout out to them, man, because you expect Zimbabwe to. I think they're going to hold all 3 Ls, and I think that's because it'd be interesting to know. Because if Guinea top their group, that's going to be interesting because now it's now going to be a much more difficult team for Senegal to face. It will be great if Senegal win because they've never won the Afcon before, but I want more from them, and I want really Mane and Sufo to really show a lot more specifically in that final third. Because I felt that against Guinea, they could have put them away, but they just lacked that extra Salini. Group C, your boys Morocco, man. Morocco, obviously topping it, 6 points. Gabon, Ghana, and Comoros. So obviously Morocco play Gabon in their final game, man. And I think you're looking for Ghana right now. They have to win that game against Comoros, and I expect them to. So I think if they win that game against Comoros, I think that puts them on 4 points, and that puts them in a very, very good position. If they screw up and they end up with only 1 point and it's 2 points, now it becomes very, very dicey and tricky. But I do expect them to beat Comoros, and I do expect Morocco to beat Gabon. So I think on a psychological level, even if that's first game Morocco Ghana, it wasn't really the greatest game for other sides, specifically Morocco. I think all Morocco are thinking is let's just win all these games. I think Morocco are looking at the other North African brothers because Egypt have, they have not really looked that great. And Tunisia have not looked that hot. Algeria will obviously get to them right now. So Morocco, you know what? We can really go further than our North African rivals and really be able to now say what's up, man. So and I expect Morocco to go far. And I think what you're saying from Morocco is that they didn't need Ziyech. They didn't need Ziyech. Bro, I know Ziyech very, very well. People are like, oh my gosh, Ziyech, how could Morocco not take Ziyech? I've seen Ziyech, bro. Morocco will do fine without that boy Ziyech. So it'll be interesting to see how far and how good Morocco can do, man. And for Gabon, I just think too many internal issues, especially with Aubameyang, Lemina, and so forth. So I think they will make it through, but once they meet a real team, I say around the 16 marks for those dudes. But for Ghana, man, I'm expecting. I understand what happened in the Gabon game. I understand their frustrations. They have to put that behind them. Get Jonah Ayew off the freaking team, and they have to go ahead and beat Comoros. Because if Ghana don't beat Comoros or so forth, bro, like there's no point in even you being here. So I expect Ghana to greatly increase themselves. Group D: Nigeria, Egypt, Guinea-Bissau, Sudan. I think this should be a foregone conclusion. I believe it should be a foregone conclusion. I mean, personally, for me, I just think that again. Look, it's not how you start; it's how you finish. So, and I want the cup. I want the trophy. I don't want Nigeria just to play well. I don't want Nigeria to do great in the group stage. I want Nigeria to lift that trophy in Cameroon. So I think that Nigeria's aim should be win every game. That's the aim is that whoever we play is to win every game. So I think who's up next? Next up, it's Guinea Bissau, get that dub, keep it moving, keep it moving. So, and I think that they've been very impressive. Egovan has been super impressive with them, but for me, I'm chilled out. I want to see how well they go through. Salah, he delivered that second game, and I think, look, man, I said this to Hazem. Karish is not the dude. I think Karish is an antithesis to how I think Egyptian football is. So I don't know how he's going to lead them all the way through because his approach, I just think, is wrong for Egypt. But let's just see how it goes. Because again, maybe Egypt was a rocket start. It was a poor performance by them against Nigeria. But maybe they can grow and be able to say, what's up, man. I think, for Sudan, look, and I think for Guinea-Bissau, this is difficult for them to really say anything and say what's up. So I think it's just good experience for them to come through. Because again, Guinea-Bissau always around. Sudan, they're not in many Afcon. So I think the fact that they're in this Afcon and they will still be able to compete against dudes, you can say what's up. And I think for Sudan, last game against Egypt, score a lot, and I think it'll be amazing. Sudan can maybe get a point off of Egypt and just maybe go away with something. But go for the win. Go for the win, which will make it a very, very good and respectable Afcon that they've had. Because I think, they drew with Guinea-Bissau, which I think is extremely commendable, man. So, yeah, expect Nigeria to win all of the games. And the main aim for Nigeria is go and try and win every single game. Group E. Wow. This is real now. Ivory Coast, Equatorial Guinea, Sierra Leone, Algeria, man. And I can see for Algeria, they have to win. Because if Algeria draw, it makes it very difficult because if they draw, that's 2 points, but they still remain a GD of -1. So it's very, very tricky for Algeria. And Algeria's final game is against Ivory Coast. So they're in a very crazy situation right now. Because if Equatorial Guinea and Sierra Leone play out a draw and Algeria draw, then they're screwed. So Algeria really need that win. They really need that win. And even if they win and Equatorial Guinea beats Sierra Leone, then Equatorial Guinea flipping top of the flipping group. So it's really all to play for here, man. And I think, this is just a case of, because I think this is why football is beautiful. There is nobody that would have thought the defending champions and the guys on a crazy winning run that Algeria had would be in this situation. But you don't understand what it means to play for your country. Playing for your country is different from representing your club. Your club, it's a means of business. It's your work of it. It's your means of employment. Your country, this is your heritage. This is where you're from. There is something deeper about this compared to everything else, man. So, it's definitely Algeria. I just like, and I watched the Equatorial Guinea game, man. Algeria had crazy chances, but Equatorial Guinea, they defended like flipping Trojans, and they played their hearts out. And you could just see how they celebrated and how much it's meant to them. But for Algeria, man, they have to go out and win. They see it's easy for them. They know what they have to do. They have to go out and beat Ivory Coast. And for Ivory Coast, you have the chance of knocking out a big dog. So I think that is definitely going to be an amazing game. And the reason, and that's why I love it, because in that game, you know that Algeria have to go out and win. And Ivory Coast will win. So almost Ivory Coast will almost feed off of the energy that Algeria have, because if, let's say, they had both won both of their games, then they'd be like, oh, let's just play out and see what happens. But because Algeria have to win to stay in the competition, I think Ivory Coast will now return us in favor. Oh, you're going to come out and score? Let's have. So hopefully it sets up for an amazing end-to-end game, man. And so, and finally, Group F. Wow, interesting. The Gambia. So the Gambia, 4 points, Mali 4 points, Tunisia 3 points, Mauritania 0 points. But see, the thing about this is, now I get it. Tunisia didn't play well, they didn't do so well. But that Tunisia Mali game, it's dodgy, and I feel like that game should have been played again. Personally speaking, I believe that game should have been played again. So I don't know why it wasn't played again. But Tunisia would not have to play against the Gambia, and let's see what they do. But I think it would be super impressive. Again, even if I feel that the Tunisia Mali game should have been played again, it would be super impressive if the Gambia topped that group. That'd be super impressive. Because I mean, if they top that group, I think, I mean, because they're not really known as an Afcon heavyweight or one of those guys that even sort of go really far in the Afcon, like Gambia. So I think it's truly amazing what they've done to even be in this position where they're actually top of the group ahead of Mali and Tunisia, who are considered like seasoned veterans of the Afcon competition. And if we're looking at it right now, again for Tunisia, if they can get a win, that's not so bad for Gambia, because Gambia will now feel like, if with 4 points, I think 4 points, I feel is a really good number for going. So I think if you get 4 points and you're third, you should pretty much go through based on just how everything is now forming. So yeah, man, I think everything is looking interesting, man. So I think that, look, man, I think what people have to understand about the Afcon is that these are countries. This isn't Secunda B. This isn't first, second division, man. And I think when you're playing for your country, there's a different amount of passion. There is a different kind of loyalty and desire that you have that isn't really that doesn't really exist for other forms, man. So look, man, I don't know who's gonna win this whole thing, man. I don't know who's gonna win this whole thing. I think that and I think that's the beauty about this, because based on what has happened to Algeria, based on how unimpressive Egypt have looked, based on how unimpressive Senegal have looked, it makes this competition very exciting because it's really open-ended. And I think what makes, and which is why people have given up on domestic competitions. Like, you look at, oh yeah, Man City, of course, they're going to win the EPL. Of course, PSG are going to win Liga, and Bayern are going to win the Bundesliga. But I think the beauty about this is that, let's see what happens with Algeria. Senegal and Egypt, do they really look as impressive as we thought they would? Because, oh, Mane from Senegal, Salah from Egypt. And I think the most impressive team so far has been Nigeria. They've been the most impressive team so far. I think the kind of story of the AFCON has been Sierra Leone, based on the keeper having 2 back-to-back man of the match performances and playing locally. Another great story is Equatorial Guinea, local coach, cutting Algeria's crazy winning streak and putting them in the position that they've been. So they've been amazing stories. But I think the reason why I think AFCON is important is that it's a great geography lesson. Because people will say, hey, where are you from? I'm from Africa. Oh, I came from Africa. No. Nigeria and Kenya have completely different cultures. Ghana and Chad have completely different cultures. Cameroon and South Africa have completely different cultures. Even freaking Tunisia and Morocco have very different cultures. And of course, Egypt and Ethiopia have very different cultures. So I think when you just look at the Afcon and so forth, I think it's a case of like, oh, Cape Verde, let me Google Cape Verde and look at their history. Guinea, let me go Guinea and look at their history. And let's actually look at their history before the colonization of the French, Portuguese, and the English. So I just think that because this is a great way of guys to really put forth their country's colors and just show pride of their countries that really don't really give the kind of like global recognition that the world gives them. So, and I would say that all football, specifically with regards to the Afcon and so forth, is super important.